So today I'm going to talk about some challenges that go on in real estate, and I really want to educate you. And we're going to talk about things that I have personally gone through my last 20 years as an entrepreneur, as a business person, as everything that I've gone through that I think you'll find very relatable. Let's talk about why you're here. Let me get an understanding of the room. Level 1 to level 10. Who here is somewhere between a 1 and a 5? Raise your hand. Okay, great. That means we don't have to unfuck a lot of the things that you've messed up so far, so we can do it right from the beginning. And from 5 to 10, who's 5 to 10? So there's a couple people that have not raised their hand. I'm just curious, are you guys just waiting for happy hour or something? Not sure why you're here? 5.5, there we go. So one thing I want you to think about as we talk is, we all know we want to get to 10, right? That's a given. We want to be at 10. But if you're maybe a 5, I want you to ask yourself, why are you not a 4, right? And you probably have reasons why you don't think you're a 4. But what can you do maybe this week, today, tomorrow, the next month, next year, to maybe be a 5.1, maybe 5.2? We know we want to get to 10. So everyone here, I think it's safe to say, is going to leave with something. Yes? Raise your hand if you're going to leave here with something. Yeah. You're going to leave here with knowledge, education, maybe a book of mine, maybe some samples, something, maybe a hangover, I don't know. You're going to leave here with something, right? Maybe you'll buy a course, get coaching from me, whatever it is, you're going to leave here with something. But I really want you to ask yourself, don't just leave here with shit in your pockets and you don't know why you got it. Really leave with something that is intentional and focused, okay? Because you can leave with a bunch of knowledge and a bunch of notes and then you run home and you're going to do all this stupid shit that you're probably never going to finish. Or you can leave here with some intention and some focus and actually make a difference in your life. Is that fair? Great. So I want to know if this sounds like you. You work every day. You bust your ass. You get yelled at by contractors. You have tenants yelling at you. You're at your job. It's stressful. You come home, maybe you eat dinner, and then you do it again. And you start losing the difference between your home life and your work life. And every day, the cycle repeats. The cycle repeats. And you start to not notice which one is which. And you're just hoping that the next day, your life is magically going to be better. Magically, someone's going to walk in and change your life. Raise your hand if this slightly resembles your life. But this is the standard journey of an entrepreneur. We all go through it. What if there was a different way? What if there was a way that you could bypass that and expedite your way to success to create the life that you want? Because let's face it, why would you want to bust your ass every day with the hope and the dream that one day you maybe, by chance, could, by accident, have the life that you want? You have to get better. You have to focus every single day on being better than you were the day before. Who agrees with that, yes or no? And there is a process to learning to be successful. There is a recipe. You have to ask yourself, what are you doing on a daily basis and what is your recipe? I never wanted to own real estate. I never wanted to do anything in my life except one thing. I wanted to be an airline pilot. I grew up in Los Angeles. All I ever wanted to do as a little kid is fly airplanes. And at 25 years old, I got hired with a major commercial airline, and I was the second youngest person by that airline to be hired. And I had the best job in the world. I had the safest, most secure job that anyone could ever imagine. I was flying around the world, I was living life, and I had an untouchable job. Until a certain day in history. I think we all know what day that was. It changed my life because 2 days after the towers fell, I got delivered a furlough notice. This is something that I worked for my whole life to do, and it was ripped away from me in 48 hours. I didn't know what I was gonna do. So I started learning about real estate. I saw everyone that was wealthy was somehow, some way tied to real estate. And I started reading every book I can. I paid for coaches. I paid for mentors. I learned how to flip, wholesale. I did everything possible. I eventually bought some apartment complexes. I bought some houses, and I got my ass kicked. I kept getting back up because I didn't have a choice. You gotta get back up every single time, and that's what I had to do. Now, because I said yes to something that was so scary and so unsure of in my life, today, my life is completely different. I get to speak and educate. I win national awards. I get to do whatever I want, whenever I want, and I have the lifestyle that I never even imagined that I would have. This life does not exist as an airline pilot. This life exists because of real estate. It's not magic, it's a recipe. So ask yourself, what are you saying no to in life because you're afraid, because you're nervous, because you're afraid what someone's gonna say to you, because you wanna ask permission when no one even cares? Stop asking permission. Say yes to what you want and go after it. What's important about this is money is a renewable source. But you know what you don't get back? Time. The average person lives 4,400 weeks a year. That means if you are 38 years old, you have 1,950 Wednesdays left in your life. So ask yourself, what is it you're doing with those last 1,950 Wednesdays? We cherish money, right? You guys all want to be successful. You want to make as much money. You want to have that lifestyle you want to have. But do you invest in yourself, right? I wanted to live life on my terms, and I wanted to create a successful business model that runs without me. You want a different outcome? Change the questions you're answering. This has basically got me a 7-figure real estate portfolio. I own a lot of real estate with a lot of different people. I do a lot of different stuff. I think everybody at different stages in your life goes through different iterations of what you want to invest in. I learned and mastered how to communicate and negotiate, because communicators and negotiators are the wealthiest people on the planet. Learn how to speak, learn how to communicate, learn how to negotiate. Because whether you know it or not, you're selling someone or someone is selling you every single day. Becoming successful with 1, 5, 10, or 20 properties, it starts in your mind first. And I understood that a good deal was specific for me and my end goal. You gotta have a goal, you gotta have a strategy, and you gotta have a tactic. Most importantly, you have to start with the end in mind, and you have to have a date attached to it. It's gotta be time-oriented, it's gotta be accountable, and it's gotta have a date attached to it. A very simple number I talk about is 20, 20, 20. It's very simple, right? 20 properties, 20 years, 20,000 a month in passive income. It's an easy goal, right? It's got a date, 20 years from now. You've got a quantifiable amount, 20 properties, and you know it's gonna be 20,000 a month. That is a goal. How you get there is the strategy. What is your strategy? The tactic. The tactic is the last piece of the puzzle. Am I gonna drive a boat on the 405 freeway, a snowmobile, a motorcycle, an RV, or a car? So you have to understand the tactic is the last piece of the puzzle. But we do all this in the beginning because we think that that's actually making progress. The problem is you may be going on the freeway in the wrong direction at an alarming speed, going away from your goal. I personally have lost tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars because I bought the tactic first and I had no strategy. I'm a big, big believer. Learning how to do it is much, much easier than learning why. If all this did was give you the freedom and flexibility to live life on your terms, and you can no longer have to worry about money, would it even be worth looking at?